Hey Scorpios, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing some intuitive messages and then we will get into the tarot from what I see there. All right, Scorpio. So let's pull a oracle card to start out the reading. Some messages I was getting for you, Scorpio, were trust. Trust was coming through. Okay, great. So we're starting out with chameleon change, number 33. So what I'm seeing here is there is currently a change to some patterns that you're used to falling into. I'm saying this like in terms of more relationships, but obviously like as we deal with ourselves is how we deal with others. And so I'm seeing right now you're taking a higher perspective on some cycles that you've been in, some patterns that you've noticed within yourself. Like I'm getting a very wise sage energy with this and a lot of divine inspiration around showing you even how these patterns have come to be. So there could be a situation more recently that is bringing you to this higher elevation of noticing these things. So this could be a person that's just come into your life and provided you this higher perspective of yourself and how you deal with things. So I am getting a situation around you, be that friend, romantic partner, coworker, that kind of thing. There is a relationship in your environment that is helping you to unravel some of these patterns at this time, which is really lovely. So let me pull some more cards on the situation. Okay, great. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we have carrying connections, number 14. So this could have been something that started out as like a very heart space connection, and take that as it resonates for you. But I'm getting like that heart chakra activation from whoever this was, or is, excuse me. So whoever this was, they came into your environment and I feel like they tapped into your heart chakra in some way, shape, or form. They sparked that energy, that emotion within you. And however this transpired, I am seeing an end of a cycle with whatever this was. And I'm seeing you kind of seeing it from a distance. So this is kind of just an interesting, this world card is pulling at me that whatever this was, there is some distance, either that be that physical or emotional, mental, all of the above, to whatever this is at this point in time. And so now you're looking at it and trying to find essentially like the silver lining to the situation. Like, can this restart? Or, you know, do I need to learn something from this? And I'm getting like a very mature energy from you. And I'm also not getting a lot of like action around this. I'm getting a lot of more like contemplative, almost hermit energy where you might be meditating or just trying to tap within around what is going on. I also don't think you saw the entirety of this situation, or you are trying to see more of the situation than what you maybe originally saw. Because, you know, when we have our heart chakra activated, we can sometimes bring in kind of like a more imaginary, like I could see myself with this person, or I could see myself happy with this person, or I could see myself in a loving relationship with this person. But then you have to stop and say, how much do I know of this person? And that's what I'm really getting off of this card is a lot of yin and yang energy. You could be dealing with like a Gemini is like the feel of it, or even a Pisces. They could have those two elements in their chart. But yeah, I am seeing it more coming from like the airspace. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, but definitely Gemini is speaking to me here. So there are two essentially sides to whoever this was, and I don't think you saw the entirety of it. And that could have caused some of this patterning from your past, like we initially spoke of, to just be on display in whatever way, shape, or form that is. I just got on display in some way. And so now you're really taking whatever has been happening here and you're just trying to go within, and you're taking it more at a soulful perspective, which I think is super interesting here, because I'm getting that whatever this was, it's almost like it happened so fast and you're kind of still trying to just wrap your head around the entirety of what's happening. You know, like sometimes things can just be like a bulldozer in your life and you need a minute on the opposite end of it to be like, okay, what happened? You know, you're in it. You don't have the perspective or the luxury of having that space and time to really like think about how you're responding or reacting. It's just happening. And I'm getting that with whatever this was, that it just happened so fast and then boom, it was like this distance happened, and it's almost like you just didn't have a chance to really unpack it. And so that's what you were going through here, or are going through at this point in time. And I think this healing is really bringing you back to a really lovely place here. I'm getting with this card, getting back to yourself as you are now in this moment. I think this challenge, this pattern, this kind of intense whatever just happened type of thing, I'm getting that as a result, you're stepping more into the moment, you're being more mindful and noticing what's around you, really trying to focus on your happiness. And this could also be around doors and options around you where you're trying to understand them and look at, you know, what your next step is going to be, and where you want to go and where you're going to feel the happiest, and just really looking at these doors. Again, I'm getting like a real distance energy. So like, I don't feel like you're up close and personal to whatever this is. Like, I don't think you're in the fire. It's just like, it's very observational. It's very quiet kind of energy is how I'm feeling. And then in your outcome card here, you have the Temple Path, number 12, which this I like to see, because this is just assurance, Scorpio, that things are as they are meant to be right now. And somebody needs to hear that, because a lot of times with these cycles and these patterns, as we notice them, sometimes we can be really hard on ourselves. Sometimes we can be really critical of ourselves. Like, I'm seeing this chameleon here as almost like side-eyeing me. And it's just like a cold, a harsh energy. This could be what you were dealing with as well, especially if you were dealing with an air sign. They have a reputation for a little bit of coldness, or can be cold. Everybody can change, right? But I'm really seeing this as something that like was pretty deeply rooted that you're gonna start to like let go of. So there's something here that you've held on to, and it's caused a certain pattern. And this pattern, I think, came to light in whatever the situation was. And now you're really starting to kind of loosen your grip on it. Forgive yourself is important. So another message that came through in the intuitive, in addition to trust, was also forgive. And I'm getting to forgive the other person in this situation, and to forgive especially yourself. And that this could also be tied into the pattern that you're seeing here of just being very hard on you, or being hard on this other person, and vice versa, because what we see in others is what we also experience ourselves to ourselves, right? We have mirroring in a lot of our relationships. And I think you've taken a really sage, like wise approach to this, to really just go back to your own patterning, back to your own healing, and saying, like, what is this reflecting in me? What am I not seeing here that's happening? And why is this happening again? Forgiveness is a very interesting concept, and everybody forgives and reaches that place in their own time and in their own way. But to start with oneself and to forgive oneself for something like time lost, or the fact that these patterns even exist. There needs to be a level of forgiveness of oneself, and then you can forgive, you know, the root of it. You can forgive the, you know, if it's a childhood experience, you can forgive that, or a past relationship, you can forgive that, and then really begin to let it go. Because unless we forgive and we trust that we are on the right path, which this message is definitely for someone to say, the things that happen, it's okay that they happened. The where you're at now and what you're in right now, it's okay that it is the way that it is. So somebody needs to hear that, because I am getting a feeling of like guilt and like beating oneself up. This could be something that you've done in the past, or that you experienced from the external environment. And it's really saying to loosen your grip on that, to let go and allow for whatever is happening to happen, and just really focus on your connection to yourself and your acceptance of self, and just focusing too on just like easing your grip around that. You know, just personally speaking, you know, when I do yoga, I feel like that translates, you know, it's obviously the external, you're loosening your muscles as you stretch, but it also can help you internally to kind of move the energy from places that might be stuck within like your chakra alignment, for example, for those of you who resonate with that. That has been something that's really been taking my healing to the next level and allowing me to really just get into more of a flow state, accepting, releasing, realizing, forgiving, and then moving into that love place once you're in the flow. Okay, wow. So how interesting. So I want to pull some clarification cards here. Let's see with this World card. I want some clarifications around this. Okay, interesting. So what I'm getting here is you've got the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So I'm seeing a situation here that there might not have actually been a lot of action. Things might have been quite slow moving in the physical, but there was a lot of emotion involved. The person, and this, take this as it resonates, but I'm seeing someone here that is a bit emotionally unstable, that, yeah, kind of just sways back and forth here a little bit and keeps their cards close to their chest. So I think things were moving quite slowly, and a lot of the emotion in the situation just wasn't expressed, or it wasn't capitalized on very quickly. And there was just a lot of holding back. So as a result, I'm seeing things just drifting apart, very like just a moving away. Like someone could have physically moved away, emotionally, mentally. I'm definitely getting, like, with this Swords energy that yeah, someone pushed someone else away very, very clearly, and that caused some pain, resurgence of pain, or just new pain. And then there was sort of a break here. Wow, so whoever this was, yeah, I'm getting some big energy with them. Here's another Libra card here. You don't have to be dealing with a Libra, but yeah, I get somebody that was like all ready to take sort of this very sudden leap of faith, and, you know, make quick action towards someone else from a very loving place. Interesting. Yeah, and I see your energy just a little bit here being, we've got the Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups, and the World card. So what I'm feeling with this Scorpio is you could have been looking at options, but doing so in a way that was like keeping your own cards very close to your own chest, and being very focused on this like sense of happiness that you wanted, but maybe not being completely present in the moment, if that makes sense. And I see this coming to an end. So with the World card here, so I see you sort of going through this emotional and mental, I don't want to say confusion, but a little bit. Just a place of kind of like suspense in your life almost, where the mind and the heart were taking in a lot at that point in time. And that could have made things very difficult to know what you wanted to build on. And you could have sort of suspended in yourself in this place for a little bit longer than maybe you needed to. No judgment whatsoever, but I do see that coming to a close here with the World card. So what I'm getting is someone in the situation was ready from the first second. Let's jump right in, let's go for it. Whereas someone else might have been a little bit more hesitant and could be coming from just a different place, like a slower place, or wanting to kind of review things a little bit more and keep things to their chest a little bit more. But again, I am seeing an end to whatever this was. So let me pull some cards on the person or situation that you were dealing with, because I'm just curious. Okay, so this person too, they're in a very thoughtful place. And with the cards that I'm seeing here, I'm getting a lot of major arcana. So this is feeling like something that is divinely orchestrated. Okay. So there has been some difficulty in this situation. The truth of the matter is there are some burdens, there are some things weighing this connection down. And I'm getting like things becoming very difficult very quickly. And I'm getting on both sides like intuition being heightened. And it's almost like a little bit of a game was being played here, whether intentional or not, take that as it resonates. But I'm getting this person that you're dealing with, and you, I hate to say this, Scorpio, but there were some red flags here. And I think their intuition was picking up on this. And it just is creating some confusion within the situation. What is the advice to Scorpio? Oh, interesting. Okay. So the advice here, Scorpio, is to say, is to be strong in what you give your emotions to, right? Because people can approach us for a lot of different reasons. Scorpios are very alluring, they pull in a lot. But to understand what your happiness is really what's coming through here. And to not lose sight of that, because as a water sign, I think, especially if we're feeling something at a very deep level, at a soulmate level, which this is really feeling that way to me. This definitely feels divinely guided. But there is a heart lesson to all of this. There's a lesson in what you give your heart to and who you give your heart to that needs to be recognized here. Because if you're not treated a certain way, and you're losing sight of like what would make you happy in a situation, then you're going to end up in the wrong situation. So I'm really feeling this, as unfortunate as it feels to say, as that lesson to say, don't lose sight of what is true for you and what is truly makes you happy. And a lot of options will be presented to you in life, a lot of paths and doors. But the way to navigate them is to stand in your truth. This is really interesting. So let's look at, I'm going to pull a card related to the current situation here in these doors and options for you. Wow. Interesting. So I'm getting something is going to come through here that you're not expecting. So this could be, wow. This could be related even to your finances. Something's going to move really fast here. Wow, interesting. Okay, great. So what I see here, Scorpio, is you are manifesting the 10 of Pentacles. So what I'm getting for a lot of you is sitting in the 5 of Pentacles energy for quite some time. So this could be related to finance, or this could mean, you know, you haven't been in a relationship in a very long time. And I see very suddenly a relationship manifesting here for you. And it's going to be the right one for you. It's going to have the balance you need, the security, the stability, and the comfort that you need. So like I said, this could relate to just finances. This could relate to a relationship. This can also be all of the above. But I'm seeing that coming in for you quite suddenly here. And I see a lot of this manifesting much smoother and much easier once you get the lesson. And for me, from my perspective as a reader, there are lessons around trust here, trusting in your path, trusting in your guides, and trusting that this moment is bringing you what you need and what you deserve. And then also on top of that, forgiving yourself, forgiving others for their shortcomings towards you, both. So wow, what a reading, Scorpio. You guys always do this to me. So Scorpio, this is what I have for you. If this resonates, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what's going on. And I'll see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.